think, oh my god, my voice. I think this is probably the most not vulnerable, but honest video I'm going to make because this just happened literally like 30 minutes ago. But I had a conversation with one of my old friends about, the way I left my friend group. And for context, I left my friend group about 3 weeks ago, and I basically was like, yeah, you guys just didn't treat me well, or my best friend who also left well, and I'm not expecting any apologies or excuses, blah blah blah. But it turns out, I feel like that came out of, like, that was coming out of a place of a lot of hurt. And honestly, it took watching Wicked and Zootopia for me to realize this. Kind of embarrassing to say, but it's true. But I realized that what I really meant to say to them was that I cared about them a lot, and they were my best friends, and I genuinely did not care more about a group of people than them. And that's what I meant to say. And that's why, when I'm so emotionally invested in a group, my other emotions also amplify very much so. And so when I felt really hurt, I completely lashed out. But that wasn't what I wanted. Honestly, I don't think I can go back to that friend group. I think everything that I said in that text, even though it came out of a place of a lot of hurt, was true. And I was very hurt. So I didn't want to apologize for the way I left, but I wanted to not redo it. But I just wanted to clarify that now that I've had some space to think about it, and now that I watched these two movies that had this very strong theme of friendship and communication, I wanted to say that like, thank you for being in my life. Like, genuinely, you have changed my life and made me the person that I am today, and I'm eternally grateful for that, even if our paths diverged. So that's what I meant to say, and I didn't know how to say it to everyone, obviously. Some people were just, I was scared. I'm scared to talk to some people, and not scared, but I'm still very hurt over them. And so I was like, it's not really time for me to talk to them. But one of them, I did feel ready to talk to, so I did talk to him, and I told him everything I said in this video so far. But the kicker is that he said, after me and my best friend left the group chat, the group had a discussion. Also, my roommate is talking next door, so that's what the sounds are. But yeah, he said after our group conversation, or after we left the group, they had a group conversation about us, and he didn't really mention anything about my best friend, like what they said about my best friend, but I'm guessing they forgave her because a lot of them did reach out to her. But for me, he said that people were very angry at me, and because I was, in their eyes, I was being very hypocritical, and I was setting a lot of double standards, and these were standards that I myself was not meeting. And so when I said like I wanted them to put in more effort to reach out to me and whatnot, they thought that they put in a lot of effort as well, and I was the one who wasn't reciprocating, which I don't know. And he also said every single person had something to say about me, which was kind of shocking. And to be honest, he said the person who was the most vocal was my ex-situationship. And he said that my ex-situationship said that I changed as a person. And actually, everyone said that I changed, but he was the most vocal. And I'm not gonna lie, when he said that, like, genuinely shot through the fucking heart. I thought I genuinely couldn't breathe. And even now, it's just like, damn, like, what? And also, I started like sobbing after that because, like, I know we're not in a situationship anymore, but the fact that he thought I changed for the worse, it just really says a lot about what people think about me, especially since I feel like I haven't really changed in heart. And I asked this guy, I had my friend that I had the conversation with, I asked him, do you think I've changed? And for the worse. And he said, I think you changed emotionally. Well, like, no shit. If I was changing emotionally, then wouldn't you, like, think something was going on? Because I am literally fucking depressed. Like, I don't know, bruh. Maybe I got fucking depression and that's why I changed emotionally, but, I don't, like, after this conversation, I realized that a lot of people in that group severely, misunderstood me, and I don't think anyone's at fault necessarily. And this is like all stuff I said in the conversation with him, with my friend, and me and this friend, like, the fact that I'm calling it a friend should say enough. We made amends, and I'm glad that at least I can still call him my friend. But for the others, I think I don't know if I'm ready to call them my friend, but I still care so much about them. I care a lot. I care a lot about them, and I guess when I sent that message, I didn't convey it well enough. It was just shocking that, I guess, like, the overall thing is just like, I was really shocked to hear that people thought I changed. And I was shocked that so many people had things against me, especially because I am a very big people pleaser, and I try to make everyone happy all at once. And I guess, I don't know, and it's making me think, like, maybe my depression was making me act in ways that I normally wouldn't. But the truth is, I can't take back what I did, because I genuinely do believe that in the decisions I made were the best decisions I could have made in that moment. And I also forgot to mention, I ran into someone else from the friend group at the gym early this morning, and I felt so awkward and guilty, and I didn't know if I should say hi or like wave or whatever, but I mean, he wasn't really looking at me and whatever, so I was just like, oh, I don't know, maybe he thinks like this is awkward too. So I just went up to him and I was like, hi, like, oh, are you busy? Like, do you want to have a conversation? And it was super last minute and maybe it was a little impulsive, but he said he was busy, so I let him go. And I think that was an excuse, but honestly, if I was him, I would also do the same. It was super rash. I just couldn't like focus on my workout, and that's why I did it. And I'm just in a very like emotional state right now, and so I don't think I'm thinking that straight. But the overall thing is just like, I feel like, you know, I think I I still care a lot about them, and even if they think I was acting like a hypocrite, I still do think they did me wrong in some cases, but I forgive them for it. And I do know I held them to high expectations, but that was because I put them on a pedestal. And when you put people on a pedestal, you expect a lot out of them, but I was the one who put them there. Like, they didn't ask to be there, and that's on me entirely. But regardless, I did put them on this pedestal, and I did have expectations, and they did get, I did get disappointed. So I can't apologize for the fact that I feel and felt this way, if that makes sense. And so I do forgive them very fully. I still care about them a lot, and I honestly, I love them a lot. And talking with my friend, this one, it really made me like realize how comfortable I was with them compared to my other friends, and how easy and candid it was to just talk with them. And it was sad. I'm glad at least I have him back as a friend, but honestly, the reason why I don't want to talk and have individual conversations with other people is because I'm honestly tired of explaining myself, and I would rather just have them not forgive me. But I just want them to know that I forgive them. But I don't expect them to forgive me, because I don't expect them to understand my situation. Mostly because, like, there's nothing I can really say except that I was mentally struggling a lot, and that I felt very lonely, and I cared so much about the group that my emotions were very amplified, and I felt a lot more upset about the things they did versus other people doing the same things. But I feel like all those might be interpreted as being defensive, which is why I don't want to have conversations with them about it. But honestly, like, after hearing that they said all this stuff about me, and how they said how they just moved on, and the fact that they feel like that I should give them an apology, I can't give them an apology. Like, I can't give them an apology because I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, I genuinely, man, I don't know. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I don't expect them to like understand that. And I don't know. I feel really like conflicted right now, and I don't really have an answer to anything and how to approach this. But I think this conversation was good to have, and I'm glad that at least I got to talk with one person. And honestly, my end goal with this conversation was for him to relay that to everyone else, because honestly, like, I don't know if I want to necessarily be friends with these people again, but I do know that I still care about them. And so I hope that they know that I care about them. Yeah. And maybe I care a little too much because, I don't know, I cried a lot. And I think, like, I do tend to care a lot more about people than the average person for some unknown reason. But my mom was like, yeah, Chloe, you low-key get too emotionally attached to people. And I'm like, yeah, like, low-key real. And, you know, this friend that I was talking to, he also was like, yeah, this friend group is just like, you know, we just do things together, like, blah, blah, blah. But that's not how I viewed this friend group. I viewed this friend group genuinely as, like, my lifeline. But he just viewed it as a friend group. So I guess, like, there are differences there. And I guess I just feel everything tenfold. And he was saying, like, you know, time passes and you will meet new people and you will realize things while you meet these new people. And I don't know. I feel like it's hard for me to open up to people because I'm scared that something like this will happen again, where I get too emotionally invested and then, like, my emotions run haywire and I fuck everything up again. And I fuck everything up because my emotions get in the way and I put people on a pedestal again, and then I get disappointed again, and then I lash out again. And honestly, I think I don't know if it's worth putting in that hope again. That, like, I don't think it's worth building up. Oh, sorry if I keep, like, playing with my eyes. I have, like, chronic styes in my eyes, which is, like, low-key TMI, but I'm trying to get surgery for them. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know if it's worth letting people in again. I don't know if it's worth repairing things that I don't think serve a purpose in being fixed. I don't know if I want my friends, my old friend group. I don't want my old friend group back. I just want, like, specific people in that group back. But I don't know if I want them back or if I should just move on to better things. And I don't know. I think what I really want is, like, I want to be friends with my ex-situationship again, and I want to be friends with one of the other guys in the group. The rest of them, I don't really feel the need to, because I don't know. it just doesn't hurt. I just, as like, as shitty as it sounds, I don't really care about them as much. So maybe I'll talk to them, but I'm really scared to talk to them. And especially because my ex situationship did say I changed a lot as a person, which I don't know how true that is, but yeah, maybe I'll talk with them, but I think that, I mean, there's nothing left for me to say to them, because everything I said, like, the only thing I want to say is, like, I forgive them, and you don't have to forgive me, and that's it. But obviously, it does feel a little sad when someone you loved once, like, someone you loved once, as not just, like, platonically and romantically, Loki hates your guts. Yeah, that just kind of sucks. But what can I do at this point? I think it really does boil down to the fact that I had really high expectations for them, but they didn't really have the same for me. And I think that's where we severely misaligned. Yeah. And that's just life, you know? So maybe I should stop expecting so much from people. Maybe that's the moral of the story. But I feel like that's a kind of sad moral to live, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think, YouTube. I'll see y'all.